Hiya, it's Owlet here with another Doctor Who review, and this week the episode was Kill the Moon by Peter Bennett. I apologise if it's hard to hear me this week, but unfortunately I'm sick, so I am losing my voice. But let's just get on with the review. Courtney Woods was back, which was a pleasant surprise. I didn't think she would have a returning appearance, but she didn't do any damage. In fact, she kind of added to the dynamic, so I was all for her having another tag along in the TARDIS. I thought the Doctor not calling her special thing was a bit random, but I did like that Clara pointed out that he could have easily just said, "I didn't mean it," but instead went on some elaborate scheme to make her the first woman on the moon. It's almost as if, like, the Doctor in his stubbornness won't do the simple thing and admit that he was wrong, or even just lie to placate someone's feelings. So, you know, that was an interesting insight into 12's personality, whereas 11 seemed very determined to make sure that everyone felt special, so it's a bit of a contrast there, which is fine. It's just good to see where 12 is going. I loved the use of silence in the episode, so there was a lot of just sound and no actual background music, or if there was background music it was very soft at times, and I thought it was beautiful because it helped to build tension and suspense, and I found it very similar to, oh no, this is going to be me forgetting names again, the episode with 11 and Amy and Rory, and they're in that little western town. I can't think of it. Should I pause it and find it out? I'll pause it and find it out. Hang on. I'm back. And the episode was called A Town Called Mercy, which I'm sure most of you already knew what I meant. I'm just terrible with names. So yes, it reminded me of that a lot, in the fact that there was very wide shots, beautiful cinematic landscapes, and minimal soundtrack. And I actually quite like it when the Doctor Who's filmed like that sometimes. And this episode almost felt film noir at times because of the limited colour palette and black and white kind of scheme of the moon, which was interesting. I think the spider germs effects that they had, or the parasites, or whatever you wanted to call them, that they had on the space people, or space explorers, astronauts, reminded me a lot of what the Vashnarada did to people, so it kind of like stripped their flesh till they were a skeleton, and I think that was heightened even more by the fact that they were wearing spacesuits. So the Vashnarada kind of you know, stripped the flesh of people in the shadows and then left them in their spacesuits, so they were just a skull going, "Hey, who turned out the lights?" But I was really happy that they weren't Vashnarada, because that's where I first thought it was going. So I was like, yay, it's a new alien species thing. So that was kind of fun. I liked when Courtney Woods was tumbling pictures of them on the moon, that the main astronaut woman, names, I know, no clue, I'm not even going to try and pretend that I remember her name, said, "Ha, my gran used to post things on Tumblr." I like that little bit of modern day humour, like the fact that in 2049 Tumblr is well past its, you know, social media expiry date, and now they do something else, but grandmas used to post things on Tumblr, so it's just kind of a little bit of fun. I enjoyed that. I thought it was great how 12 delivered the moon's an egg line, and it just seemed, he was so excited, and you almost got that insight back into 11 where he was whimsical and overjoyed and not so dark and serious. And I mean, he did then turn dark and serious, but he was just so enthusiastic about this new alien species and enamored by the wonder of a whole new life and all that it could mean, and I quite liked that. We haven't seen that for a while, so that was really nice, and I thought he delivered it really well, and even more so when they were like, "Well, what do we do now?" and the dramatic music built up, and then he was just like, "Nothing," and that was quite a good psych out, like, oh, he's gonna say something really amazing, and then he did it. I was like, ah, I see what you did there. I found the discussion between the astronaut and the teacher, aka Clara Oswald, quite fascinating in their reasoning of like, the debate of trying to justify why they should or shouldn't blow up the moon. It was very well written. The episode's dialogue, even though it was very dialogue heavy, the dialogue was very strong and very powerful. So I thought that was really good insight into humanity and how we put our personal principles and bias and insight into things before others sometimes, and then sometimes other people will step back and say, no, well, I'm thinking selflessly, but then even your idea of what you think is selfless could also be quite selfish. So it's just a really controversial topic, but it was handled really well. I think it's great that the Doctor is so passionate about not interfering with the decisions that humanity makes to basically, you know, dig itself a hole or not. But it's also a bit strange that he was like, you know, I love Earth, Earth is great, I love humanity, and I also want to protect the moon, so, you know, I'm not going to make this decision. And, you know, he's talking about all these planets that he loves, but what about Gallifrey? I've been waiting for the Gallifrey tie-in to come back in for a while, and maybe I just missed the tie-up at the end of the Christmas special, but Gallifrey is out there, isn't it? Like, they've established that it's somewhere in some dimension. I mean, I could be way wrong about this, but I noticed a few people talking about this in my comments of previous episodes too, and I just feel like we haven't had a single mention of it, and I thought maybe the Doctor would kind of put that at the top of his list, but instead he's just visiting visiting Clara at school, and then, you know, just traipsing about the universe with Courtney Woods, and that's fine, do that for a while, but it'd be interesting to see when he's going to be like, let's go find Gallifrey, if we can at all find Gallifrey. But maybe that won't happen. Clara's emotional breakdown at the end was long overdue and very well justified, and it kind of caught me by surprise because I honestly didn't see that coming. I didn't think she was going to get that worked up about it, but I was really glad that she did, because, you know, as I've been saying in a few episodes, reviews now, that she's being dragged about a bit by 12, and she has a breaking point, and I guess this one was it, and it's a pretty fair breaking point. I mean, you have to choose whether or not you destroy a brand new life form or blow up the Earth. Just, yeah, everyday tuna or chicken kind of decision, really. It was a very loaded decision that she had to make, and I think it was unfair that the Doctor put all that on her, and he obviously had insight into it, and he was keeping that from her, so that's a bit rubbish, and so, more than a bit rubbish, really, and so I thought it was kind of good that Clara told him what's what. And also, I liked Danny Pink for once in this episode. He emoted, and he kind of came down a level and wasn't as guarded, and that was really nice. I was so happy to see him be genuine and seem quite caring in a way. I mean, he's been caring before, but in a way that actually like showed on his face and in his tone, and so that was a nice change. I almost am like, yay, I want Danny to stay now. We could work with this. If it continues like this, it'll be fine. I'm basically quite happy with this episode. I wouldn't say like I loved it, but I quite liked it because I got everything that I've been asking for a while for the episodes. I wanted the Doctor and Clara to travel through time and space. They did that. 2049, that's time. Space, they went to the moon. New alien life species that wasn't being recycled. Check, we did that. The only thing with the new alien life species was that once the egg hatched, another one was laid quite quickly, so he was saying that it was the first of its kind. If something's laying the egg, then I'm assuming there's something much bigger out in the universe that is laying it, so I would have kind of liked that to have been cleared up or mentioned or maybe explored in future episodes, because I was like, oh, okay, well, then something's laying these giant moon-sized eggs, but I guess we're not going to go into that. And it looked a lot like a dragon, which was cool. So I was all for the new aliens, and we had like 2 new aliens, because we had the spider bacteria, and we had the giant moon egg butterfly dragon thing. So yay! It was good. I liked Doctor Who this week, and that makes me happy. So yeah, I will see you all next week, and hopefully I'm feeling better, so you don't have to listen to my shocking scratchy voice. Toodles.